All right. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. So, after being in the frozen frostlands of Frostpunk 2 tonight, I think it's time we started our next Victoria 3 run. After finishing up the Transvaal run, very successful run there. I think it's time to start up a new one. So what we are doing this time, I mean, you can probably see from the title, we are going to be playing as Herat. So we're actually going to be going for the Great Game accomplishment in this one. We're going to be going for Herat. So, under the Great Game here, the new century marks the beginning of a long conflict waged across the world's largest continent. Through intrigue, warfare, and deft diplomacy, guide Russia and Britain to dominate Asia or lead Afghanistan, or Persia on the path to sovereignty. And so for Herat, we got the civil war in Afghanistan has left the Emirate of Herat as the last bastion of Durrani rule. Can the heirs to the dynasty resist Persian incursions and reunify Afghanistan under their restored empire? Let's find out. Here we go. Okay. First things always first. Let's get the music off. So in this run, there's two achievements we're going for. One over the other. So the first one, it is a very hard achievement. Duran. As Herat, form Afghanistan, own all the historical states of the old Durrani Empire, and do not be a member of any power block led by any other country. And then you can see here, it tells us all the states we have to own. And then the other one is for the Great Game achievement. Yeah, Great Game, no re. Complete the Great Game objective. Actually, there's one thing I want to look at here. Ali Me is back. Thank you, Ali Me. Was with us at Frostpunk 2, and now is bringing her little doggy into Victoria 3. I just remembered, I wanted to take a look at one of the achievements we got in one of the other streams. Yeah, okay. I had posted something on the Reddit about this one from the Paraguay stream. As Paraguay complete the expanding Paraguay and populating the Americas journal entries, and I pointed out how this isn't an actual journal entry in the game, and so they were like, oh, thanks for pointing that out, we're going to change that in an update. But I guess they haven't yet. Alright, so Herat. So we are over here. Basically what we got to do is, to form Afghanistan, we got to take over all of Kabul and take these two states off of Kandahar. But so we can do that, and then we will form Afghanistan. But really, we're going to be like punching our way all the way down here to the sea, because we got to get to the sea. Persia. So here's the big difficulty with this run. Persia has a claim on Herat. Persia has a claim on Herat. So they are, it's possible, so they are going to make a diplomatic play on us very soon. And so we need to rush our military in order to combat that. The British East India Company is going to push into Sindh and possibly other places. And we need Sindh and, I got to double check it, but a couple other places in order to get the Duran achievement. And then on top of all that, Great Britain and Russia are going to be pushing into this area here, and we got to push them out of this area in order to win the Great Game. So we got a lot of work ahead of us. And on top of all of it, we're 144th in the world. But that's okay. You know, we've started around there before. Like, what's Congo? Yeah, look at that. We started lower with Congo and we finished 5th. Transvaal 98. Okay, so we're lower than that. But we're starting higher than we did with Congo. Alright, so let's take a look at our leader. Cameron Durrani. So with him, so he's a landowner traditionalist. We're getting plus 5% authority as a leader. Minus 10% political strength for clergymen. I don't mind that. This one is the absolute worst for your leader, though. Expensive tastes. Plus 5% tax waste. But we do get plus 5% prestige. But when you're 144th, I mean, it doesn't really make much of a difference to us. Now, one of the big issues here to start is that we don't have a lot of wood. Like, we have no wood in Herat. This is where most of our people are. We have this little bit here, Harati, Hazaristan. We have wood here, but only one. So let's get our technology underway. So we got to start with the military. Because Persia's coming. So we'll get this, we'll get this. Not that we really need paddle steamer, but we want to get general staff. And we don't want to suffer the ahead of time penalty, so we got to get paddle steamer. But we'll probably get paddle steamer on tech spread. So we'll start off with this, and then we'll reassess. Alright. Now, the first things first, when we're building, so we need to increase our military in order to increase our army power projection. Like, look at that, +3 right now. We need to increase that to deter Persia from attacking us. So we can do 12 more here. So we'll do one more irregular infantry. So when it comes to irregular infantry, +10, but +15 morale loss, the Hussars are better. +15 offense, +10 defense, and less morale loss. Though they will take 1 grain input. Whereas the irregular infantry take nothing, but that's okay. So let's max this out. Yeah, so 12 and 13, perfect. And then let's add in that. Let's add our decrees. So, road maintenance, social mobility. We're going to encourage the resource industry in Harati Hazaristan because that has our wood, and we're very low on wood, so we need as much as we can. We can't do enlistment efforts yet because we have to finish mandatory service. Oops. Okay, hold on. What is the deal here? Oh, that's right. All my settings got reset. Ig. Okay. I hate the, like, when you move your mouse to the edge, it scrolls. Wait, where is it? It's not in graphics. Mouse pan, yeah, there it is. Disabled. There we go. I hate that. Okay. So we're good there. So we're good there. Alright, mic's still working. Always a fear of mine. Yeah, let me make sure everything's working on all the platforms. Oh. Here we go. Glad I checked. We don't have an actual game specified on YouTube. Let's fix that. Alright, good. We're all good. Okay. So, where have we left off here? We have an abolitionist movement. We have a pro-slavery movement. We should probably boost... Interesting. Oh, wait. We don't have an abolitionist movement. An absolutist movement. I don't like you guys. Okay, so let's take a look at our government. Well, wait, before we put people in there, let's take a look at our laws. Now, I always say it's worth starting off on peasant levies, and I do stick by that. The negative 10% military goods cost. We could switch to professional army, but it will significantly decrease the amount of conscripts we have. So I think for now, peasant levies is where we'll stay. Of course, though, we're not going to stay on that for long. So I think it is worth putting rural folk into the government. So we want the armed forces in there for sure. We want the rural folk in there. Yeah, I think it's worth that. We'll start with them. And then, because the rural folk are in there, we have a chance to switch over to tenant farmers. It says we have a chance at homesteading, but we're starting off with an 89% stall. So I think it's best we take this incrementally, because we want to get off of serfdom no matter what. Plus 50% landowners' political strength. This one is plus 25, and the stall is only 27. So we're going to start with tenant farmers. So that's the law we'll start with. And now, let's see. What's next? So we got the law situated. Okay, so, and we're building, look at that. Okay, we're building barracks. Next thing we want to build is the one and only logging camp that we can do. Then we want to get cotton in Herat. And then we want to get 2 construction sectors going. 2 construction sectors, and then, oh, not state degrees. Then give us a tooling workshop. So next, we're actually going to look at agriculture, because we need to make sure we have the resources for our military for when Persia starts being a jerk to us. So we're going to get 2 wheat farms, opium for the mobilization options. Yeah. And then we'll get the sugar from the wheat farms. And then lastly, we're going to add a silk plantation in there, because we actually start off with a textile mill, and we could go to making luxury clothes if we had the silk. Now, one thing we're going to do, so as always, you can get 5 free trade routes. So we're going to import wood from everybody. And what else do we need to do? We don't need to import grain yet. We're about to build it. We could import furniture, or we could export some of these clothes that we're making. We could also import liquor. I mean, we could import the liquor when the war starts. So what we'll do now is we'll export, and we'll we'll lower tariffs to make our industry more profitable. Good lord. To Persia and Kabul. And that's the 5 right there. You know, we have the bureaucracy actually to incur another one, but none of it is profitable. Okay. So maybe we will import. Okay, now? Alright. So that's good for now. Are we ready for the unpause? The first unpause? Oh, no, we're not. Actually, let's look at the budget. Yeah, let's lower that while we still can. Let's raise the military wages while we still can. So that's good. Oh, we want to increase relations with Persia. And for now, let's just increase relations with Russia and Great Britain, so that nobody messes with us until we're ready to be messed with. Alright. I think we're good. Let's go. So, we now have the Great Game journal entries, so let's read them. So progress towards the left of the bar will benefit Great Britain, whilst progress towards the right of the bar will benefit Russia. So beginning in the early 19th century, the Great Game has emerged as a generic term for conflicts between Great Britain and Russia for influence over Central Asia and its surroundings. With both governments regarding a comprehensive military victory against the other to be impossible, the Great Game has come to be waged through a series of indirect battles for leverage over countries on the line between both nations. And so, victories: the Caucasian War is inconclusive. Advances: Russia enforced the Treaty of Turkmenchay, and Britain successful expedition to Bukhara. Let's take a look at our while we're building all of our troops. Let's take a look at our society. What do we got here? So yeah, that's right. So as Herat, we actually are in a pretty good spot. Our primary cultures are Pashtun and Persian. So Pashtun, Iranian, Turanian culture, but Central Asian heritage. Persian, also Iranian, Turanian, but Middle Eastern heritage. So that means we get both Middle Eastern heritage and Central Asian heritage as a primary culture heritage trait. So that's pretty beneficial. Religions, state religion is Sunni. We have Sunnis and Shiites. We have state religion, which is interesting. So you're supposed to get negative... Ugh, come on. Why can I not get the tooltip? Minus 25 acceptance from religion if you're not the state religion. But Shiite, I guess, is just at 0 because they're still Muslim. So great. Works for me. And then the regular social classes. So we got to unify Afghanistan, achieve sovereignty, and we get also the just general Afghan reunification. All right, so let's speed up because we've got to build up our military here first. Now, I'm not building towards the construction sectors first because we're not going to be able to afford enough construction sectors to get us beyond the 10 points. I know the construction sectors also give you that plus 0.2 state construction efficiency, but I don't think it's worth it to lose your full 10 points at the beginning. I mean, it's true. So we're on traditionalism. So if we build 2 construction sectors on wooden buildings, we'll still keep 10 construction points. But I'd rather just get these barracks and these battalions out of the way before we start messing with balancing the budget of construction sectors. Because it's very possible Persia declares on us early. We don't want that. Basically, the beginning part of this run is going to be getting as much land here as possible, building up our military so that Persia doesn't declare on us. And eventually we need to make Persia our friend, because in order to do the Great Game, we're all going to have to fight off the Russians and the British. So there is that. A group of influential rural folk led by Afzal Tunzvi are petitioning for the rapid abolition of serfdom. So we can get a guaranteed 10% or risk this. Plus risk getting a plus 30 or a negative 10. We're going to take the absolute plus 10. Alright. Yeah, we're in a deficit of influence, which is giving us a negative 9% prestige. I'm kind of fine with that at the moment, because when you're 136th in the world, what does it matter? That would mean much more to me if we were finally, like, at a legitimate point. All right. One moment here. Okay. So, let me take a look. What's happening here? Let me get my life together. Okay, so we need to finish these barracks. Maybe we'll bump the speed up to 11 here, because we just need to get these barracks done and so that they get hired. More pragmatically inclined members... Oh, hold on. Let's pause for a second. There's something I think I forgot to do. More pragmatically inclined members of the rural folk, currently opposed to the passing of tenant farmers, have offered to change their stance were they to be offered certain political concessions. Such concessions would not be popular with the landowners, however. Yeah. Ooh, actually, no. So if we take this, we're going to get noble privileges and lose all this tax income, and we're probably going to go into the negative. So we lose 5%, but the enactment time goes down. We don't want to take a setback yet. Damn. But it is kind of worth it. Let's do it. Let's see what happens. Hopefully our budget can sustain this. Yep, noble privileges. Let's see what happens on the Monday update. Okay, we didn't lose too much. So that's not so bad. All right. I'll tell you, my biggest concern of this, like a Herat run, is this very beginning moment, because Persia is very likely to declare on you very early. If you can get past the beginning part, then it's very possible. You know, once you can get past the beginning part and get like line infantry, and now have a legitimate military compared to theirs, you're probably going to be okay. But this beginning part is stressful. Until you can get to that point. All right. So let's bump the speed. Oh, like I said. All right, there we are. Okay, well I did bump this up. So a clash of thought has erupted in Herat. Rural firebrands have criticized the tenant farmers' laws for supporting a master-servant relationship with the landowners. Well, I don't want to take any more negative approval from the landowners. So we'll do this one. So they want Herat. I think our primary goal will be to revoke your claim on Herat. Now, we're not going to go for war reps or anything like that. I think this will be our only claim. In terms of mobilization options, let's see, how much sugar can we get from our wheat farms? Oh, we're already getting it. I mean, we're just gonna take everything. We don't need mobilization speed or anything like that. And in fact, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna import some liquor to cover the difference. Maybe not from Persia, because we're probably gonna lose our trade routes from them. This is too bad. Okay. So let's mobilize. So what do we got with this guy? to offense. So he'll be our offensive commander. Yes. Oh, an intelligentsia defensive strategist. Okay. Adamant defense. Let's do it. So let's import as much sugar as we can. You know, let's import from Persia until they tell us we can't. You know, why not? Same thing with the liquor. We'll take that route. Opium. We'll do that until we build another opium field. And then... yeah, wheat. From Kabul. Okay. And then... interesting, we have no... revenue change, huh? Never seen that before. Okay. Did we send these guys? No. So go to the front. We have nobody who's gonna come to our aid, because it's just way too soon. Maybe this was the blessing in disguise for a night where I'm starting the Victoria 3 run late. I think, well, I'm not going to say I think we can do it. I'm not actually very optimistic about this one, but we'll see what we can do. Yeah, we didn't even make it out of the first year before they declared on us. Although they're not sending... oh, there they go. I was like, where are their troops? Alright. Yeah, they're going to send 45 troops. And flat terrain, enforced terrain. So... I think we'll take another defensive strategist. And just grind them down. Nobody's coming to our aid. We can't negotiate with anyone. So we'll see what happens here. All right. See, that's the thing. It's so early. There's not much we can do about it. And our average offense defense is lower. What is our actual things here? So 13 and 13, 12 and 11. Yeah, too bad we couldn't get one of those mountain combat experts. still can't do enlistment efforts. Now, it's not, if we lose this, it's not necessarily a game over. They're just trying to take Herat. We'll be left with Herati Hazaristan, so, you know, it's not a game over. If it's not a game over, you got a chance. But we'll see. Well, let's bump the speed up. Let's get this underway. Yeah, so we lost all of our Persian trade routes. Although, okay, so we're still actually pretty good on all the things we need. Okay. Oof. Yeah. Not gonna be good. To be expected, though. Oh, Persia. It's okay. If we lose this war, we can still... We're still in the game. As long as we've got a state, we've got a chance. Oh, whoops. We can speed this up. We all know what's going to happen here. Yeah, we're losing manpower. So they won 25% occupation from that. Oh, man. Damn you, Persia. We could have been friends. At least we're left with the state that will have wood. But I am stressing that this isn't over. The run. At this point, actually, we should probably just capitulate. Not put ourselves into any more debt. Frustrated with the lengthy legal process surrounding tenant farmers, Yar Muhammad Al-Akazi of the landowners has approached us with an offer to expedite the process, utilizing his personal connections within the state apparatus. Yeah, let's do this. Alright, so now let's reassess. So now we're not going to increase relations with Persia. However, we don't have a lot of population, but we also have no military. So let's build up 5 irregular infantry. We don't have enough workforce to get conscripts yet. Yeah, we also have all these generals now. I don't really like that guy too much. So let's retire this guy. They'll be upset, but... Okay, no. If we retire this guy, we're going to get noble privileges, a decreased tax income. And that's something we don't want. So let's get that logging camp. And then let's get a wheat farm. Now, let's get rid of all these trade routes, because now we don't actually need all of them. What we could use is an import route of grain. Let's do it from the Kabuli market. So we do 2 of those. We're now 262nd in the world. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, for the time being, let's get an import route of that and an import route of meat. Just so our people don't starve, and then we'll fix it over time. Yeah, so no ongoing famine. So there we are, that little sliver right there. Okay. So... Alright, so now that this war is done, we're going to take a quick, very quick 30 seconds. Get another drink, and I'll be right back. Alright, and we're back. And we're back. Let's do this. Look, we don't even have a city in here now. Alright. We will rise from these ashes, though. But we will bump up the speed. Oh, for God's sakes. Persia claims Hazaristan. Just texting my pancreas here. My insulin pump. Alright. So, let's see what we can do. We're in a difficult situation. For sure. So let's talk about what our moves are here. Kandahar is usually pretty weak. 18 and 8. Kabul, yeah. So now the nice thing is this is part of Hazaristan. So if we could take Hazaristan off of Kabul, we have a larger incorporated state here. Oh, actually I forgot, yeah. Kandahar also has Hazaristan. So this might actually be the better place to go next. Problem is, though, they're going to have a more powerful army than us. But their army is, I'm pretty sure, also irregular infantry, right? Yeah. So if we can get down to line infantry, we might be able to build up enough people. Problem is, we don't have a lot of people. So, yeah, logging, barracks, and wheat. Now, hopefully getting the logging and the wheat will open up some conscripts for us. So we're starting off a little rough, but this is what we do. We like to play small countries, and so this is part of it. So let's speed it up here. Alright, so we're close to tenant farmers. October 30th is the next checkpoint. So we'll slow down once we get to the building of wheat farms, because I want to see what our... Ooh. They side with Persia. The landowners refuse to give up their serfs without adequate compensation. Their significant political influence makes this a difficult demand to refuse. Okay. We'll lose bureaucracy for the rest of this, but... Well, that's not so bad. Losing 15% bureaucracy until the enactment of the law. We're in the adoption phase already. Alright, so let's get this done. Excellent. Mandatory service. So we have that, we have social mobility, we have the resource industry, and now we'll do enlistment efforts. Oh, I think we lost our general. Yeah. Still don't have any conscripts because we don't have any. Yeah, we don't have any workforce. I need to get rid of one of these guys. Well, if we're already gonna have you guys upset at us, then just retire this guy. Traditionalist commander, imposing. Okay, minus 10% morale loss. Offense in flat terrain. This is Afghanistan. We have like no flat terrain. Plus 10% kill rate. Actually, that is pretty good. Yaqub Shinwari. Alright, we'll take... I choose you, Yaqub Shinwari. Okay. So let's finish... Oh, we have something here. A lowborn man has risen as the popular leader of the intelligentsia, with some not so pleased by such social mobility. So what's our current leader? Oh, are they marginalized now? Because they weren't a second ago. So political strength... Ooh. This guy is actually not so bad. They're getting plus 15% interest-group political strength. Right? Yeah. So, I don't know if I want to take this guy. Yeah, so he's an agitator. Let's see what he was. Yeah, we made the right choice here. Yeah, we would have lost a lot of political power for them. But as an agitator, minus 10% political movement. Oh, activism. Okay, yeah, this guy kind of sucks. Okay, let's speed it up again. All right. So how many peasants do we have left? We haven't really hired the barracks yet, so that's the thing. Qualifications for officers. Everybody is pretty much primary. Oh, no, they are not. Oh, interesting. Yikes. Petition Great Britain for aid. Yeah, I mean, we'll take it. That's interesting. Pashtun are a very small number here. Well, can we change this? Well, let's see. What would that do? So they have Central Asian heritage. Iranian, Turanian, Central Asian. Okay, so plus 60. So that's why they're at plus 60. Now, if we move here, so they gain 10. Will that move them into anything else? Ah, interesting. Okay. So because of religion, they're getting a lot of acceptance. But doing this won't hurt. So let's go to racial segregation. It is worrying, though, that they're not able to hire in the barracks. Yeah, so of the servicemen, there's not a lot of Pashtun, or, Pashtun, or Persian. What is the population here? So let's see, of the peasants, so there's 1,000 Pashtun peasants. So why would they not hire as servicemen? Okay, so they are, just not a lot. Yeah. No organized training. That's the problem. All right, well, let's build tooling workshops right after that. Okay. Oh, now in terms of our budget, yeah, as good as it can be. So let's speed this up. Automate failed. Oh, come on. All right, so we got the wheat farm. So yeah, we need fruit. So I think we'll have to split this up here. There we go. But it's not gonna hire. Interesting, wheat. Wait, am I importing it? Yeah. So let's get rid of those trade routes. Although, how is it still so cheap in the market? those substance farms, that's why. Okay. Still can't get any conscripts. Alright, so what do we need? We need an industry. That's what we need. Workers. So we could do a textile mill, but a furniture mill, we have the logging camp. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna build a furniture manufactory. And with this, we get fancy furniture too. All right. I think we can call this the prequel to the rerun, to the real run. That's what we'll call this. Instead of episode 1, called the prequel. Alright, Laudabate success. Because I think on Monday, when we have our regularly scheduled Victoria 3 run, we'll probably restart this. But I kind of want to see where this goes. Take a look here. Let's take a look. What are we doing? So we need this tooling workshop to finish. What we need is our buildings here to hire. We've got peasants. We've got buildings, but no one yet is going to be hired in any of these. Once we get the tooling workshop done, nice. So once we get the tooling workshop done, we'll get the logging camps to start hiring, and then we can use tools in the wheat farms. And once we get the furniture manufactory going, then we'll have both the wood and the tools going. Yeah. So, let's speed this up. Let's just get this through. All right, tooling is done. Yeah. We're going to subsidize the tooling because it's going to help 2 other industries. Problem is subsidizing it gets it fully employed. We don't want to take all the employees for it. We just want to get it. Yeah, what is the local demand? So 0.1. So let's wait till it hires up to 0.1. Really, even subsidized. There we go. So let's get at least one tool going here. Actually, it might be worth it. No. Yeah. Our market is very weird right now. Because we're such a small little state. Well, racial segregation is moving along. There you go. It's the Transvaal run all over again. Our primary culture is now very few people. So that's not good. Maybe once we get this furniture manufacturing, things will jumpstart here. Oh, what? We're over our infrastructure. Man, what a run. What a run. I'm so glad this was the prequel run. Because this is a bit of a shit show. Not how I planned this one. So there's a couple situations like this in the game where your run really all depends on if somebody else declares on you early. This one is like that. Persia might declare on you very early. If they don't, you have a chance. Mascara is like that. With France. France is going to declare on you. If they do it early, you're done. If you have time to build up, you're not done. Which other ones are like that? Which other... Oh, Mexico. You play as Mexico. The United States will declare on you very early. If not, you have a chance to build up a little bit. So we're in one of those types of runs right now. And unfortunately, Persia did declare on us early. But left us half of a little state. So we do have a chance. We do have a chance. So the play here, what we're hoping to do is build up our forces, take Kandahari, Hazaristan. Even though this one is now just called Herat, this is Hazaristan. So Kandahari, Hazaristan, we build up a little bit more. Then we take Kabul, the Kabil's Hazaristan, and then we have a complete state. Then we go back, we get Herat back. That's the plan. It's been revealed that Suleiman Arif of the Sunni Ulema has been having a secret affair with a member of the clergy. Yeah, we'll tell people about it. Oh boy. Okay. So, once we get this furniture manufacturing done, although I find it interesting that this isn't hiring up. Well, okay, I guess because the prices are so low. Because even with low acceptance, the agricultural jobs will do. Mr. Supreme 50, hello, hey, what nation we playing as tonight? So tonight, I started this one pretty late. I called this one a prequel run because my intention is to do a new like full run as Herat, but I'm still trying to work out a couple of the things with it to figure it out. So I thought, why not start a kind of prequel run here, get the lay of the land before I start the real one on Monday. And I'm glad I did, because we are starting off rough. We got declared on early by Persia. We lost our state of Herat. But we still have Harati Hazaristan. So, we'll see what we can do. I just got the game like 3 days ago with the sale. Been trying to form Germany proper as Prussia, still learning. Ah, well, if you're interested, I do have. I make a bunch of tutorial videos that I have on my YouTube channel. You can check them out. It's interesting because for my offline run that I'm doing right now, I'm doing a Germany run, and that one is a lot of. The Germany runs are a lot of fun because, as you know, you get to really form something over here, right? I think. Well, I guess to start off, like, do you have a specific? Do you have any questions about the game? Because I love to answer questions about the game. I've been playing it forever, and I love it. And yeah. So I know what you mean. I haven't fully dived into a Japan run yet. I've had a couple false starts. Generally, for me personally, I like to play as small countries. So when I stream, I usually do small countries, and then if I play as larger countries, I usually do that offline, which is why I'm doing my Germany run offline. So the thing that's interesting about Japan in the game is that you start off isolationist, so nobody can infringe on your market. And all of these states in Japan basically have all of the resources that you need. So a lot of people say Japan is a good game, or is a good run to do to learn the game, because you can really learn how to build your economy, because you have everything you need and no one infringing on it. The problem with Japan is that the shogunate, the landowners, have such a vice grip on the country that it's really hard to get control away from them. Which is why it's kind of boring, because it's like you have nowhere to move. The landowners just hold the country so well. Yeah. Yeah, you just have to obey UK as Japan, or UK will invade. And that's mainly because Japan is isolationist. If you can get off isolationism, so your trade policy, if you can get off isolationism, they'll kind of leave you alone a little bit. But it's hard to get off of isolationism because the landowners hold the country so much. But Germany is a really fun one to do, and exciting. It's an interesting one to figure out at first. At the long ago, when I first got the game, I was like, oh, I gotta conquer all of these little German states, not realizing, oh, you have this German unification. And so you don't have to do it through military. You can do it through just, having more prestige than Austria. It's basically a battle with Austria. But the run I'm doing offline with Prussia/Germany is the hegemon objective. So I'm also trying to conquer half of the world in order to get that achievement. Yeah, Japan is tough to level up. Prussia is easier than I thought it would be, but I'm still learning how to play as Prussia. Each nation is a bit different, which is nice. Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome that you recognize that, because it's funny. I'm very active too on the Victoria 3 Reddit, and you say you're a new player of the game. I feel like there's so many seasoned players of the game that don't recognize that every country is different. Every country presents different challenges, And so you really got to tailor your game to the specific country you are. The Steam reviews and stuff really bomb this game. So yeah, so here's the problem: is that when the game first released, the game was fun and it was good, but the game as it exists right now is like nothing like the game on release. I got the game on release, and where the game is now from all of the different expansions and stuff, the mechanics are just so different that it's a completely different game. And one thing I will say that's kind of cool about Victoria 3 is that something that the developers of the game have committed to is that they said they don't want to reach that situation where, you know, in like 5-6 years, there's like so much DLC that it would take you like tons and tons of money for a new player to come into it. And so what they do is any new game mechanic is a free download, so that anybody who just buys the base game has essentially the same game as everybody else. And so the DLCs that they release that are paid are only flavor packs. Now, that being said, the flavor packs are definitely worth it, but the game mechanics are always free. Ozzy, hello. Yeah, I started with Frostpunk tonight, and decided to switch over to Victoria 3 because I couldn't resist. But to finish my point, yeah. So, Mr. Supreme, one thing that does separate Victoria 3 from the other Paradox games is that you always get the game mechanics for free, which I think is so cool about this game. That being said, though, the nature of this game, the flavor packs really make it worth it. Because like you said, every country is different, right? And so there's like, one of the DLCs is all about South America, and South America is just so much fun. Because of the Colossus of the South. I'm going to bed because it's 5:30. I just saw you were live and came to say hi. Ah, okay. Well, Ozzy, thanks so much for stopping in to say hi, man. 5:30, that's rough. Thank you for taking a moment at 5:30 a.m. to come in and say hi. It's good to see you. I actually might be on tomorrow night again with Victoria 3 with a multiplayer game. So if you're on, otherwise, hopefully I'll see you on Monday when I'm back on. But thanks for stopping by, man. But yeah, yeah. Mr. Supreme, it's so true. Yes, DLC galore. This one, they just announced their next DLC pass. So basically, you pay like the cost of one DLC and you'll get all of the ones for free. So that one is pretty cool. But I do kind of love the fact that in this one, if you don't want to have to buy any of the DLC, you still get the same game as everybody else. Though previously opposing racial segregation laws, Humayun Yan has considered the rural folks' political position and instead offers support. Ooh, do we like this guy? Intelligentsia Democrat. Yeah, we'll take this one. Yeah. Yep, I'm getting Expansion Pass 2. Got Hoi 4 all DLC'd up. Yes. So, it's funny because... So, I'm all... I mean, you can probably tell I'm all into Victoria 3. Hearts of Iron is one that... I mean, because this game ends right when Hearts of Iron begins, I'm always like, oh, man, I gotta get Hearts of Iron and just dive in. And they just had the recent sale where it was like $15. And I was dragging my feet for so long to the point that the sale ended. And I was like, damn it. I should have just bought it on the sale. And so next time it's on sale, I'm gonna get Hearts of Iron and finally dive into that, so I can continue my Victoria 3 run. It's worth it, man. The Steam Workshop for Hoi is amazing. That's what I've heard. I've heard that the support for it is great. There's a lot of community like mods and stuff like that. So I have to move on to that one. I like the economy aspect of Victoria 3, and I know Hearts of Iron is all military, which isn't a turnoff for me, but it is a different element, right? So like so if you're coming from Hearts of Iron, Victoria 3 is not as much. It's not as much military as Hearts of Iron. But that's saying something, because Hearts of Iron is all military. People try to say like the military in this one isn't as involved, and I completely disagree with that. There's a lot you could do with the military in this one. But the thing that people, I think, don't realize in this is that this game is all about the economy, and so the military is heavily influenced by the economy. And so your military is all about how well can you support your military in terms of resources and stuff like that. Prominent members of the rural folk, outspoken supporters of racial segregation, and close allies of Afzal Tunzvi have been exposed in a corruption scandal, having exchanged political favors for personal gifts. Man, this is a tough one. Well, we're in adoption. We can take the setback. I like the flavor of Vic. Been playing Hoi 4 for a long time. Nice not to focus on just war. Ah, yes, then this is your game. Yeah, this is your game if you don't want to focus on just war. It's funny because this run is probably not where it currently stands the best representation of Victoria 3, because we're in a very precarious predicament here. The reason why I'm calling this the prequel run is because on Monday, when I start as Herat, I'm probably restarting the run, but usually there's more to do than I'm doing right now. Yeah, exactly. You gotta love that 10 construction. Because I barely have the resources to do anything else. So Herat starts out with this state, and Persia declared on me and took it from me. So this is a tough one. I'm kind of taking the L on this one tonight. Look at this, and I keep, just out of habit, I press the B button to bring up my construction queue to see, oh, what are we building? And I keep forgetting we're not building anything because we're so small and we have nothing. Opium is in this game, right? Grow and sell opium. Yeah, opium is a big part of this game, actually. It's a good export to have, especially for an Afghanistan run like this. When you can finally get to the coast and export, you can really set up an opium export. It's also a big deal too for your military. So you have these mobilization options that add benefits to your military, and one of them, you have field hospitals. You use opium as an input, and it gives you this very valuable thing, recovery rates. So it can be used for multiple things. But yeah, you can make opium and sell it. Here I go again. I'm bringing up the construction queue. Alright, so we're starting to hire up a little bit. Yeah, look at that. We don't even have... Oh, we do have cotton. So let's build that. Stock exchange, there we go. But what's interesting about the game, too, is they just announced... racial segregation, there we go. They're completely reworking the trade system in the game. They just released a couple dev diaries about it, and it's coming out in June. It'll be a free update, though there's also a DLC coming out with it that'll add a little bit to it. But from what they've described in the dev diary, it's going to completely change the game in terms of trade and everything. And considering trade is such a big part of the economy, and this game is all about the economy, it's pretty exciting. A lot of the player base of this are like kind of excited. Really excited. And the only thing that sucks about it is it doesn't come out till June 17th. So it's kind of like waiting for that to come out. Yeah, exactly. Rather wait than be hella disappointed. Totally. Yeah, because the last DLC for this was in November. And they announced, right when the DLC announced, they're like, all right, we released this, and now we're going on holiday break. And so it was a lot of, like, radio silence since November. And you even saw a couple of people posting on the Reddit, like, oh my god, is this game dead? And, you know, most people are like, no, they're just on holiday. Like, take it easy. But yeah, it seems like they were taking some time to lay low and really think about what the next update is. And the next update seems like it's gonna be a big game changer for this game. We're just saying something because I really love the game. Actually, you know, something you might be interested in if you're coming from Hearts of Iron. There's a very like legit and big mod for this game called Cold War Era, and basically it takes the game, starts it in 1950, and is all about the Cold War. I think the idea of it is like it's Victoria 3 that picks up after Hearts of Iron ends. I don't know exactly when Hearts of Iron ends, so I don't know if it gets into the Cold War, but I've heard it's only World War II, but you might be interested in that DLC as well. Oh yeah, the D&D mod. Yeah, that one is a lot of fun. That one I haven't gotten as far into yet, because when I downloaded it and I started it, I was like, whoa, there's a lot of lore to this that I really want to sit down and learn about. So it's a lot of fun. I've watched a couple streams of that DLC, and it seems like a lot of fun, but it seems like a lot of stuff you got to learn about. But it's good. Oh man. Alright. So on Monday, when I start this up again and restart it, lessons learned. I mean, not lessons learned. I kind of knew this going into it, but really have to try to increase our power projection to dissuade Persia from declaring war on us. I never played D&D, but back in the day, I did my fair share of BattleTech tabletop. Oh, that's cool, yeah. Yeah, same with me. Like, I never did D&D back in the day, and it's totally a game I would have loved. I just didn't know anybody else who played it. During the pandemic, I finally, like, bought, like, a starter set and just kind of learned how to play it, even though I had no one to play with. I did a couple, like, online, like just single night runs, which are fun, but are not like a full-on game. But I think that's the thing that kind of sucks about it is you need to know other people who play it in order to do a full-on game. And I would have... that's the type of game I would have loved if I had known people who played it. Which is, you know, I got Baldur's Gate 3 and absolutely loved it just for that reason, because I felt like I could finally play D&D on my own. Alright, so we are... okay, so we have line infantry now. So we can do this. We can build an arms industry. Problem is, the D&D is quite expensive. BattleTech, you just need a printer to print mech sheets. Oh, that's cool. I'll check that one out. BattleTech. That's good to know. Yeah, because D&D, like I bought the like player's manual. And then I ended up buying like a couple like solo player like game books. But other than that, yeah, it's like where do you go from there, you know? But that's mainly my problem, finding people to play with. There's a board game cafe near me that at one point in time did Wednesday night D&D, you know, like nights. But now, you know, I have 2 young kids, and it's hard to get away and go do D&D at a cafe. Leave my wife alone with all the kids. Yeah. Yep. My goal one day is to get my 2 kids into D&D, and that'll be my D&D group. Force them to do that. The problem is, if I try to get them to do it, they're probably going to be like, "Oh, that's Dad's thing. It's so lame." Let's see what we got here. So, Humayun has challenged Murad Nashbani to a duel to the death. Do we like any of these guys? Do we dislike any of these guys? Alright, I'd rather none of them died. So, if we do this... Alright, so we'll still hold on to that. So let's ban dueling. Because in general, you know, you should ban dueling. Alright. Yeah. So just having this state is rough. Look at that. Yeah, we're out of peasants now. Where did they all hire up to? But yet. Oh, well, this is slowly but surely hiring up. So let's take a look at the state, look at the qualifications. So we're getting officers at 0.2 a month. That's not good. Didn't Andrew Jackson duel someone? I know there was a president that did. Just not certain which one. Yeah, he might have. Wasn't there I know there was a president who like did his own surgery on himself and just like drank whiskey to numb the pain. And I think he ended up dying. And I feel like it was from a duel. I can't remember the name of which one that was. You know what? Which presidents died in office? Yeah, wasn't it? Oh no, Zachary Taylor or William Henry Harrison. Which president did surgery on himself? Let's see if that comes up. Oh. Which United States president? God, that's nuts. Oh, not who I was thinking of. Grover Cleveland. Let's see. Did Andrew Jackson duel someone? Yes. Oh. Yes, Andrew Jackson, the future president, was involved in a famous duel with Charles Dickinson in 1806, resulting in Dickinson's death and Jackson being wounded. There you go. Who is the starting president for the United States in this game? Oh, yeah, he's already died. He dies early in this game. And so, in this run, yeah, he's already gone. Or I assume he's gone. Or did he just get voted out? Who's the leader here? Oh, yeah, John Calhoun. Yeah, so he's dead. Maybe in a duel. Alright. So, where do I go from here? Well, okay, so we have the iron mines, and the arms industry. Now, we can't... We're having trouble hiring in the barracks. Let's take a look at society. So these guys are of pretty high acceptance. I wonder... Yeah, let's try to promote national values, because it increases assimilation. So it's possible, slightly possible, that we can get the Tajik and Hazara to convert to the Pashtun culture. Because we need more Pashtun culture to be hired as the army officers. So let's see if that makes a difference for us. We shall see. We shall see. When we finish this arms industry... oh, ouch, 50 weeks. Yeah, yeah, right. I think you mean, like, how long it's going to take for this arms industry? Yeah. Yep, it's going to take some time. But once we finish this arms industry, we can then upgrade our units to line infantry. And in fact, we still can't get any conscripts. Oh, hey, Uh, just Clusive. Excellent screen name. Or look at how I'm aging myself. Excellent username. Just Clusive. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. That's awesome. Thank you. And welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to my to my abysmal run. As I try to figure out how to begin as Herat before my legit beginning on Monday, because this one was rough. But yeah, we can then get a line infantry. The idea is we're gonna, from here we would go slowly up. So this is, hey to you. Hello. We want to get Kandahari Hazaristan, because that's... So this is all Hazaristan. So if we get this, it automatically incorporates into here. Then we can go after Kabul and get their Hazaristan. Now, Kandahar has more soldiers than us. I mean, yeah, a lot more soldiers than us, but they're not very powerful. They have irregular infantry. So now we can get line infantry. So once we get our arms industry up and running, and we can if we can finally get our barracks to hire, we can mount an offensive. And that's where we're at the present moment. Because Persia declared on us early as hell, unfortunately. All right. So we have quite a number of weeks before this arms industry finishes, so let's speed this up. Oh, okay, let's see what this is. A newspaper called the Herat Evening News has printed a bigoted article about the Tajik people living there. We can suppress the article, or we can let it be released. Yeah, let's suppress it, because we need them to assimilate. Now, before that interrupted me, I was about to do something. Okay. Let's speed up here. I find it interesting, though, we have these industries. Okay. Still no conscripts. Oh yeah, hold on. Let's slow down for a second here. So we could do this. Let's take a look at our local market. So we're good on wood. We could... Oops. Oh yeah, we're gonna need hardwood anyway for when we get the arms industry. So let's get some hardwood, and then we can switch over to this and make both furniture and luxury furniture. Problem is, though, there's not a big market for luxury furniture. But it might increase now that we have it. Oh, wait. Yeah, we got all the PMs we're going to need there. And this is hiring up. So if this, the more workers we can get, the more conscripts we can get. So we also, not only do we want people to be hired in these buildings to help our economy, but it might help us. Ooh, we got a 2nd battalion now. Look at that. Still not enough workers for a conscript, though. But this means, yes, our barracks are past 1,000. So every 1,000 soldiers they hire, the next number of battalion we get. And it's just hiring like llama here. What's this about? Ooh, it's gonna be an epic war. Ah, so that's done. So we can upgrade these guys to line infantry. And that will make our small arms industry start to hire up. Hopefully. You never know. Alright, so we got the first line infantry there. Interesting. Oh, I forgot about our infrastructure. Well, there's nothing we can do about that. It's just going to be what it is. So we need this to start hiring. So June 16th. Let's see what happens. Let's get to the 16th. Ah, there we go. Okay, good. Oh. Was I an idiot about iron? Oh no, I did build an iron mine. That's what I thought. Is no one working in it yet? Yeah, no one's working in it yet. That's the problem. But we also don't have any more people. So what can we do? What is within our power to do? So we have 2 battalions, 2,000, or not even 2,000, 1,100 soldiers who are of power 20 offense, 25 defense. If we took on Kandahar, we're more powerful, but highly outnumbered. So, I don't know if it's worth going for. I keep clicking on that. I mean to click on this. We need the barracks to hire. But they can't because there's no people. nor enough accepted people. So what can we do? If this were CK3, I would just hire some mercenaries. But unfortunately, in 1843, there are no more mercenaries around the world. This is kind of a funny thing to think about. Supreme Alliance has formed. Yeah, this is such a screwed run here. I just don't have the people. Yeah, we could do greener grass campaign, but I don't think that would help us anyway. It's not like we have a exceptionally high standard of living. Alright. So, let's think about this. What did I learn from this run? When I start this again on Monday, what could I do differently? Oops. Out of this. So, something I knew from the get-go, Persia's going to declare on me early. I need to raise the power projection. We're limited by our tech. Like, it's going to take us some time to get to line infantry. What else would raise the power projection? I suppose I could try to just import the construction goods, build like 3 construction sectors in order to then build barracks and hope that they build faster because of the increased construction points. Because if I could have gotten through my build queue of the barracks, my power projection would be different. So that might be something I try doing on Monday. It's a possibility. Because there isn't enough time to really become friends with anybody. I think too a big element would be if just the RNG of the game decides not to declare on you, and you can finish mandatory service, you can get enlistment efforts and add more conscripts, which adds to your power projection. So that's kind of it as well. Unfortunately, that's not what happened with us tonight. But I think that's what we'll do on Monday. All right. I think we're at a good stopping point for tonight. We learned a couple things about the run tonight. I think that Herat is where... Oh, definitely a good stopping point for tonight because my headphones are dying on me as I'm talking. There we go. Yeah. So learned quite a good amount here. I'll probably restart the run on Monday. Come back fresh. Do it better. Because I have had the reason why I want to do this is I've had a run in the past where I've had the Durrani Empire, and I just didn't get a couple states to get the Duran Duran achievement. What I'm aiming for, along with, where is it? The secondary one. Great game, no re. Complete the great game objective. What do I really want to get is this, the Duran Duran achievement. And I've had a run in the past where I had most of these. I think I missed 2 of them or 3 of them. But I reached a point where there's no way I was going to get them. So I think it's time that I get this. So that's what I'm aiming for on Monday. So I might be back on tomorrow night doing a completely different run, a multiplayer run with some friends. Still trying to figure out if everybody can do it. Where I'm probably going to be taking the Ottoman Empire. So if anybody wants to come on tomorrow night, if you see me on, that's what I'll be doing. Thanks for watching tonight, Mr. Supreme. Thanks for hanging out and chatting with me. Just Clusive, thank you so much for the follow and hanging out with us as well. Yeah, if you want, give me a follow and you'll get alerted if I'm on tomorrow, and you'll definitely get alerted on Monday. Mondays I do 2 sessions of Victoria 3, so you'll get the wonderful benefit of 2 alerts. But I think that's it for me tonight. So thanks for hanging out, guys, and watching. And hopefully I see you tomorrow. If not, hopefully I see you on Monday. Have a good night.